Tonight on the program, are there political agenda behind Thaksin's visit to Chiang Mai? We then analyze the trans-border pollution problem in Nan province. And then we visit the Vinci Alive Bangkok. สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. We begin the program by looking at Thaksin's trip to Chiang Mai this week. While the Shinawatra family maintains that it is a private visit to pay respects to his ancestral shrines, many people see it as a political move to rekindle his support in the northern province. A convicted former prime minister on parole, the current prime minister, the leader of the ruling party, and the chief advisor to the Move Forward Party leader are all attracting media attention in the northern province of Chiang Mai this weekend. This is Thaksin Shinawatra's first trip to his hometown after 17 years of self-imposed exile. The itinerary is simple, but the political implications are complex. The schedule includes a visit to his ancestral shrines, family members, and an alternative medicine therapist.
ที่ดีคุณพฤษรายงานมาว่าระหว่างวันที่14ถึง16ก็จะมีขอญาติไปที่เชียงใหม่ถ้าจำไม่ผิดจะไปเรื่องแพทย์ทางเลือกกับไปเยี่ยมญาติบรรพบุรุษซึ่งทำได้อยู่แล้วเว้นแต่ออกนอกประเทศเท่านั้นไม่ได้มองประเด็นนั้นเพราะในเนื้อหาก็จะมีพยาบาลไปด้วยนะแล้วก็ไปพบแพทย์ทางเลือก
The trip is, however, being widely seen by critics and the media as a political signal to rekindle Pheu Thai's stronghold after losing popularity to the Move Forward Party in the general election last year. Earlier this week, Prime Minister Pheu Thai said he would visit Chiang Mai from March 15th to 17th to follow up on the forest fire situation. This evening, he is in Chiang Mai to join the convicted former prime minister for dinner. Some groups who openly question Thaksin's allegedly privileged treatment notice that Thaksin's visit coincides with Pheu Thai's visit to Chiang Mai, indicating clear political agenda.
เพราะว่าคุณเศรษฐาทวีสินจะเดินทางไปเชียงใหม่นะครับในวันที่15ในเวลากลางคืนคุณทักษิณจะกลับจากเชียงใหม่เวลา16วันที่16ในเวลาเช้าเนี่ยมันก็เหมือนเป็นการจงใจใช้อำนาจรัฐแล้วก็ใช้ผู้มีอิทธิพลทางความคิดทางการเมืองของพรรคเพื่อไทยเนี่ยตั้งใจลงไปเพื่อหวังผลทางการเมืองหรือไม่นะครับนี่ทำให้เรามองได้ว่าการพักโทษของคุณทักษิณนั้นพักโทษโดยที่ออกมาเคลื่อนไหวทางการเมืองได้
Born in Sankampang district, Thaksin and the Shinawatra family have deep connections with Chiang Mai, and it used to be their political stronghold. Chiang Mai is also where Thaksin introduced himself as the founder of Thai Party in 1998. With his group of strong supporters, it eventually led to his election victory in 2001 when he became Thailand's prime minister. The Thai Party won 9 out of 11 MP constituency seats for Chiang Mai in the elections in 2001. The party won all 10 constituency seats in 2005. Having won almost all constituency seats in 2011 and in 2019, it was not until the recent elections in 2023 that Pheu Thai lost 7 out of 10 seats to the Move Forward Party. A political science expert from Chiang Mai University believes that Thaksin's visit to his hometown may have political agenda, considering the election results in the province and that the local elections will be taking place soon.
ก็มีนัยยะทางการเมืองเนื่องจากว่านะครับการเลือกตั้งที่ผ่านมาเนี่ยนะครับพรรคไทยรักไทยตั้งแต่ในอดีตที่เคยประสบสำเร็จจนกระทั่งมาพลังประชาชนจนกระทั่งมาเพื่อไทยเนี่ยนะครับประสบความอาจจะเรียกว่าล้มเหลวครั้งแรกนะครับตั้งแต่คุณทักษิณตั้งพรรคการเมืองมาเพราะว่าจาก10เขตเลือกตั้งเนี่ยนะครับพรรคเพื่อไทยเนี่ยประสบสำเร็จเพียง2เขตแล้วก็ชนะในช่องว่างของคะแนนที่ไม่ได้ถล่มทลายเหมือนในอดีต
Meanwhile, Move Forward Party MP Rangsiman Rom questioned the government over whether they had lied to the public about Thaksin's health, considering his busy schedule while in his hometown, which contradicts with the government's statement that Thaksin is seriously ill.
ผมก็คิดว่ามันก็ทำให้มันเกิดความคาใจนะครับว่าตกลงรัฐบาลหลอกเราหรือเปล่านะครับ ถ้ารัฐบาลหลอกเราถ้ารัฐบาลไม่ตรงไปตรงมากับประชาชนนะครับผมคิดว่ารัฐบาลนี้ก็เป็นรัฐบาลที่ใช้ไม่ได้ส่วนในเรื่องของผลลัพธ์ทางการเมืองต่างๆก็ยอมรับครับว่าคุณทักษิณเนี่ยด้วยความที่เป็นคุณทักษิณเราก็ต้องยอมรับว่าคุณทักษิณมีอิทธิพลนะครับต่อการเมืองไทยอย่างแน่นอนเรื่องนี้ก็เป็นความจริงที่ปฏิเสธไม่ได้นะครับ
Former Richard leader Nattawut Saikia believes it is too early to assess whether Thaksin's visit to Chiang Mai is to regain lost popularity and that it should be analyzed when he completes his parole. He also thinks that Thaksin is unlikely to step out of Thai politics, considering that he is an influential figure with strong connections and experience.
นายกทักษิณน่าจะเป็นคนไทยที่มีเครือข่ายสายสัมพันธ์มีศักยภาพมีต้นทุนทางความเชื่อถือเชื่อมั่นการคบหากับคนสำคัญทั้งในแวดวงการเมืองธุรกิจหรือสังคมมากและวันนี้ประเทศไทยมันต้องการศักยภาพแบบนี้ผมไม่ได้กำลังบอกว่าต้องให้นายกทักษิณเข้ามามีตำแหน่งต้องให้นายกทักษิณเข้ามามีบทบาทแต่ว่าจะปล่อยให้ศักยภาพแบบนี้เงียบหายไปเฉยๆโดยไม่เอามาช่วยบ้านช่วยเมืองเนี่ยผมก็ว่าเป็นเรื่องน่าเสียดาย
A recent opinion poll by NIDA shows that most respondents believe that Thaksin will have advisory political roles in the Pheu Thai party, while some anticipate that this will significantly reduce the party's popularity. Most respondents also predicted that the political struggle between Pheu Thai and the opposition Move For party will intensify, including a possible cabinet reshuffle, and that Thailand will effectively have two premiers, Thaksin and Sethar. Meanwhile, it has been reported that Pita Limjaroenrat will be visiting Chiang Mai this weekend to join the Move For party members in the north in tackling forest fires and air pollution.
And when we travel to northern provinces, one thing that we have to be careful of is the air pollution. Now let's take a look at the transborder pollution problem in Nan province. Currently, there are concerns about mercury accumulation from coal burning at an electric plant in our neighboring country. We follow a team of researchers who found traces of pollutants in the water.
อันนี้ต้นมะม่วงหิมพานต์นะคะ
This cashew nut farm in Nan province has been suffering from reduced output in the last 5 years. They have now gone back to farming corn again.
ข้าวโพดอันยังนี้
After the electricity plant, which is about 32 kilometers up north, started operating, residents are also suffering health problems. Samples are being collected from 8 natural water sources as well as fish and sediments from the river to test for traces of mercury.
เพื่อที่จะให้เครื่องเริ่มทำงาน
Particles in the air and soil samples are also being examined for acidic gas twice a year, from October to February when the wind blows into Thailand, and from March to September when the wind blows in the opposite direction.
มลพิษที่ตกก็คือเราอย่างตะกอนท้องน้ำปลาเนี่ยเราจะโฟกัสไปที่โลหะหนักได้แก่ Mercury หรือปรอดแล้วก็สารหนูค่ะซึ่งก็มีส่วนที่อาจจะเป็นมันมีโอกาสที่จะเป็นมลพิษที่มาจากโรงไฟฟ้าถ่านหินได้ส่วนรวมทั้งถ้าเป็นเน้นที่ของตัวปรอดนี่ก็จะเป็นใบไม้ก็จะเป็นตัวชีวทางชีวภาพที่สำคัญในการสะสมของปรอดในพื้นที่นั้นค่ะแล้วก็ดินเนี่ยค่ะเราจะดูในลักษณะของเบื้องต้นจะเป็นคุณภาพของดินอย่างเช่นความเป็นกรดด่างค่าการนำไฟฟ้าแล้วก็ค่า oxidation reduction
Experts say that mercury found in fish shows evidence of transported pollutants from the power station.
ช่วงที่ลมพัดมานะครับจากประเทศเพื่อนบ้านพบว่าปรอดนะครับในปลาจะมีความข้นสูงกว่านะครับน่าจะประมาณ2 เท่านะครับเทียบกับในช่วงที่ลมยังไม่ได้พัดมา
While the amount of mercury found does not exceed the safety threshold, experts are still concerned about its buildup. They recently found a higher percentage of mercury on human hair among the population.
ตอนนี้ค่าประมาณ 0.16 เพิ่มขึ้นมาเนี่ยยังไม่เกินค่ามาตรฐานแต่ว่าปรอดเนี่ยไม่ได้สูญหายไปไหนคือมันเป็นสารที่ถ้าปลดปล่อยออกมาแล้วจะฟุ้งอยู่ในระบบนิเวศจะไม่ถูกทำลายให้สลายหายไปได้มีแต่เข้ามาที่คนอย่างเดียวเท่านั้นนะครับแล้วเข้าไปในระบบนิเวศเท่านั้น
แม้ว่าตอนนี้สิ่งที่เราเจอเนี่ยอาจจะไม่ได้อยู่ในระดับที่เกินค่ามาตรฐานหรือไม่ได้อยู่ในระดับที่ยังไม่ควรที่จะกังวลแต่นั่นหมายถึงว่าถ้าวันนี้ที่เราเริ่มเจอแต่ถ้าเราไม่ทำอะไรเลยซึ่งโรงไฟฟ้ามีอายุสัมปทาน25 ปีมันก็อาจจะณวันหนึ่งเนี่ยมันอาจจะอยู่ในระดับที่มันส่งผลกระทบต่อสุขภาพแล้วถึงวันนั้นเนี่ยมันอาจจะมีการแก้ไขยาก
Meanwhile, the soil acidity test reveals pH readings between 4.20 to 5.09 in samples from a number of villages. The normal soil pH reading is over 5.5. Soil with high acidity could imply lower yields for crop growers. Although there is not enough evidence to establish a definite direct causation between the power station and the pollutants found, it is a known fact that electricity generated from burning coals releases mercury particles into the air. These villagers live very simple lives. No air conditioning, no air purifiers. The health effects are not immediate.
แล้วถ้าเผื่อว่าความเป็นพิษเหล่านี้มันค่อยๆสะสมอยู่ในร่างกายจนกระทั่ง5 ปี10 ปี20 ปีจนวันหนึ่งที่เขาเกิดการเจ็บป่วยเกิดขึ้นเนี่ยแล้วมันมีการเจ็บป่วยที่อาจจะไม่ได้เป็นพิษเฉียบพลันแต่มีความเรื้อรังแบบนี้แล้วเขาจะต้องออกไปพบแพทย์เนี่ยมันก็มีค่าใช้จ่ายที่เกิดขึ้นหรือการที่จะออกไปจากหมู่บ้านเขาเนี่ยไปถึงตัวอำเภอเฉลิมพระเกียรติโรงพยาบาลชุมชน30 เตียงเนี่ยมันก็ห่างไกล
Currently, there are no laws to accommodate transborder pollution among the ASEAN countries. Experts say this is the time to push for an ASEAN-wide framework to help mitigate air pollution and track its environmental and health impact.
We just talked about the environment. Now let's talk about education. English proficiency and entrepreneurial mindset are the two skills valued by high school students at the Pitch at School startup competition this week. Let's find out more with Warisara Sehan.
For me, I think that the Thai education system and they didn't encourage the students to speak that much. So the students will get like lack of confidence in speaking. So I got lucky because my family used English, right? So I use English in everyday life. But in school, they also teach like academics, reading and writing. But I think the first thing that should be taught is be confident in yourself.
This is the perspective of a Thai student on English in Thai classrooms. According to the EF English Proficiency Index, in 2023, Thailand was ranked 101 out of 113 countries worldwide. Some students have studied both in Thailand and abroad.
I don't find it challenging at all.
When asked to compare the education systems, Skylim Chokela from Vachirawut College says they are quite different.
I would say that if you speak to a fluent person in that language, it will definitely improve your skills. But if you speak to a Thai person, you can improve like your languages, but not your accent. And I've been there, and I feel like my skills have improved drastically.
Not only do they agree that studying English in Thai classrooms needs some improvement, but another thing that they are seeing is the importance of having an entrepreneurial mindset, along with good English speaking skills.
The entrepreneurships taught us about the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and the analytic skills, which I think it's very, very important to everyone. Like, I think every skills, it's like it's connecting to the dots of every jobs in the world.
Because the skills you would learn from having an entrepreneurial mindset or doing entrepreneurial activities such as the ability to convince someone about something, the ability to market yourself to other people, or the ability to present yourself publicly. I think those are all necessary skills in leading a successful life.
Pitch at School is a startup project pitch event which requires both English and Thai language skills to showcase the entrepreneurial spirit in young Thais. Dr. Steve Shia, head of mission of the Diplomatic Council, emphasized that everyone can have an entrepreneur mindset, not only businessmen.
So the impact about entrepreneur mindset education is about helping young people to learn the essential life skills like logical thinking, being able to analyze situation, being able to discern, and they actually work on real-life problem solving. So these are the skills that's going to be very important for any generation. But if you start them young, you have a much more powerful young generation that be able to at least acquire these skills at the school level. And it's a skill that you can use throughout the rest of your life.
Thai PBS World met Charles Shaw, an investor and a judge at the event. He gave us the view of an international investor. He sees that Thai people are already passionate about what they are doing, but being good at communication in English would drive their passion onto the global stage.
Okay, I think maybe being able to speak English clearly, that's part of it, because my understanding is Thai and English is a different way of expression. So I think to clearly explain what you are trying to do would be very important in English. Yes, yeah. And I do find younger people can speak more English than the older people.
So what areas in Thai education, especially in learning English, need to be fixed? Nonglak Manowalailao, professor at the Faculty of Education at Kasesa University, says that being good at English might be more beneficial and urges the education authorities to provide more open spaces for Thai students to express their English abilities.
Some students who compete in this contest, I would say they have exceptional English skills. That means some schools that emphasize the importance of English skill in the classrooms have more privilege than a lot of other students. And when I touch these students, I would encourage them to explore, to learn more about English, and then implement whatever the chance that they have. I want to really stress out that although they have English good communication skills, but if they don't have the practicing time or the stage to show their skills, that would be a little bit challenging for them to explore further.
Not being good at English does not determine what you're capable of.
Well, I was like 3 years old since nursery.
Chanasik Phungpak from Washirawut College says that language is not the most important key to unlocking success.
I think being good in linguistics and being fluent in a lot of languages isn't necessary. It just opens more opportunities to you, as my friend said. An international market is bigger than a domestic market. But I think the most important thing is sometimes in life you don't have to learn what is necessary. You don't have to choose to do what you love most, but choose to do what you think makes you most successful. And I think that's the best way to lead a successful life.
We have to say that the main challenge to improving English proficiency in Thailand is the mindset as well as the environment that doesn't really encourage people to speak English. And now let's have a look at the other stories in our weekly roundup.
Prime Minister Sethar Thaksin has been featured on the cover of the March 25th edition of Time magazine. The article discusses Sethar's views on Thailand's economic crises and how he plans to tackle them with various economic stimulus packages, including the planned digital wallet scheme. This comes amid challenges over his leadership of the Pheu Thai party, especially the question as to who is actually the real Prime Minister of Thailand after Thaksin was released on parole and has been visiting Chiang Mai this week. Thailand's Election Commission has decided to ask the Constitutional Court to dissolve the opposition Move Forward Party after finding sufficient evidence to indicate that the party has attempted to overthrow the constitutional monarchy. The move follows the Constitutional Court's unanimous ruling on January 31st that the Move Forward Party and its then leader Pitha Limjaroenrat were guilty of exercising their rights and liberties to overthrow the constitutional monarchy through their proposed amendment of Section 112 of the Criminal Code or the Last Majesty Law and continuous campaigning for the amendments. 14 crew members were injured after a 76mm artillery shell, which became jammed in a cannon on the HTMS Chonburi frigate during a live firing exercise in the Gulf on March 13th, was accidentally discharged as it docked at Sattahip Naval Base on Thursday. The shell struck HTMS Kirirat docked nearby, causing a fire which was eventually extinguished. Thailand's opposition parties submitted a motion to the House of Representatives seeking a general debate against the government of Prime Minister Pheu Thai, accusing it of failing to fulfill its election promises or the policies identified in the statement delivered by the Prime Minister to Parliament in the more than 6 months since it took office. The opposition's general debate against the Pheu Thai government is set for early April.
Amidst the challenges that are happening around the world, cybersecurity will be one of the top 10 global risks in the next 2 years. A cybersecurity expert told Thai PBS World that the government should build a secure system before implementing the digital wallet scheme through the banking system. Let's find out more with Frank Hanshi.
One text message sent to your cell phone could trigger a cyber attack, which paralyzes devices and even leaks confidential data. Cyber insecurity has been ranked as the 4th most severe threat in the past 2 years, according to the World Economic Forum's 2024 Global Risk Report. Prime Minister Pheu Thai's digital wallet scheme will distribute 10,000 baht as digital tokens to Thai citizens through the banking system. Malware could, however, compromise and shut down the entire system and snatch personal data. A cybersecurity expert told Thai PBS World that the government must ensure the system remains secure while sending tokens to people. If compromised, the tokens would not be accessible.
There's different types of attacks. An easier one would be denial of service. With Internet of Things out there, you can harness, millions of devices to overwhelm, right? So that money would not be accessible at that moment until they recover. I'm guessing with, again, being government sponsored, that there would be some amount of, in the banking in general, there'd be some sort of assurances, at the very least the money stays intact. I think there wouldn't be as big danger as you think because it's not a really huge part of the economy. Yeah, I think the bigger danger ultimately would be all that data.
People under 30 often face the threat of cyber insecurity since they rely on mobile phones and tablets more than most. The experts suggest do not put all your eggs in one basket, and having more than one bank account can lower the risk of losing their entire savings during a cyber attack.
It's a real difficult problem. I was thinking of the right word, and under 30, they're making their phone the centerpiece of their life, meaning everything is on the phone, everything through the phone, everything by the phone. I'm not asking you to do what I do, which is my phone is just a phone, but diversify a little bit, right? Not have everything on that phone. Take some things and take it off the phone. Banking would be a great idea. I think we do more than one bank account. Yes. You can have your spending bank account that's on the bank app on the phone, and then you can have a separate bank. You do all of that where separate money on a separate bank account that you work with on the laptop, another device, and you can send money to that other spending account that's on your phone. That way, it's kind of partitioned, kind of like that network example I gave earlier. If something happens, right? Then you don't lose everything.
Companies are also facing the risk of cyber attack. Building a strong cyber resilience is crucial to protecting a company's assets. But not every small and medium enterprise or SME can afford to maintain and upgrade its systems. Greg said using a tech giant's cloud system could help mitigate the risk of cyber attacks.
The idea being is if you're a small company and you don't have the budget, you don't have the expertise to have enterprise-grade security, you can actually get that by leveraging the cloud to initially start. You get enterprise-grade security, best of breed. Now, there are, of course, limitations, functionality, features. You don't fully control your data, but you are sacrificing a little bit, and so you invest your efforts into that cloud to get all of that. You want Google protecting you. You want Microsoft protecting you.
Frank Hanshi reporting for Thai PBS World.
Moving on to arts and culture, the name of Leonardo da Vinci is synonymous with the Renaissance. Now people in Bangkok have a chance to learn more about his art and inventions through an immersive exhibition which opens today. Kitipat Sukhjit has the first look in this episode of Walkative.
Leonardo da Vinci, the quintessential Renaissance man whose profound genius traversed the realms of art, science, engineering, and anatomy, is now the focal point of an immersive exhibition in Bangkok. This exhibition not only celebrates the artistic genius of Da Vinci, but also his contributions to science, engineering, and the understanding of anatomy, offering comprehensive insights into the mind of one of history's most brilliant figures.
People don't realise what impact he's had on today's society or life in general, really. He's most famous for painting the Mona Lisa. That's what the majority of people know about Leonardo. But what they don't know are all the machine inventions and the ideas and concepts and innovation that he was coming up with 500 years ago, which was probably 400 years before anyone else was even thinking about them. And so he's kind of considered in our eyes one of the greatest geniuses and a real icon in that respect. And he stayed the test of time. He's as famous now as he was 100 years ago, and he'll be famous now as he is in 100 years' time because of the influence that he's had on today's society. I think
the exhibition is divided into three main sections. The Genius of Creation zone showcases Da Vinci's inventions and his knowledge of anatomy, such as flight studies machines, military engineering, aquatic and hydraulic machines, the anatomy drawing room, and many more. The Secrets of the Mona Lisa zone offers detailed explanations of what actually makes this mysterious masterpiece so special. And Beauty of the Italian Renaissance zone is an immersive experience through Sensory 4 technology. Visitors will see projections of masterpieces by some of the world's most revered artists, including the likes of Michelangelo, Leonardo, Botticelli, Caravaggio, Raphael, and more.
So what's the highlight of the event? For me, there's a couple of things. The machine inventions, in particularly around his sort of studies around military and also civil, because they've had such an impact on society. But also the Mona Lisa. When you go to see the Mona Lisa in France, in Paris, you're met with a very large room and a single painting on display and about 1,000 people standing in front of you taking photographs. Wow. They don't understand why the Mona Lisa is so important. With the Secrets of Mona Lisa exhibition that we have here, we actually tell the story of why the Mona Lisa is so important and why there is so much mystery and intrigue surrounding her, and the story that needs to be told about the Mona Lisa, because it is a fascinating story, and that's something that is presented here in Bangkok, which we're very excited about.
The exhibition runs until the end of July 2024, open from 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Icon Siam, offering a unique opportunity for visitors to connect with the spirit of the Renaissance in the heart of Bangkok. Kitipat Sukhjit, reporting for Thai PBS World.
And this is definitely an exhibition that you cannot miss. And that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:30 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media, including our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Sawadee ka.